Hi YouTube family, welcome back to Sharman's Kitchen. I hope you had a pleasant day today. I'm going to be sharing a recipe for mustard baji cooked in coconut milk and some Guyana trench shrimps or sweetwater shrimp. If you want to see how I'm doing this, come on down and let's cook this together. I'm going to serve it up with some paratha roti or some clap pan roti. So come on down for all my roti lovers and let's make a delicious dinner today. First of all, I'm going to start with kneading the dough for the roti. I have my all-purpose flour here. I have my baking powder, some extra dried flour. Today I'm going to use ghee. I'm using desi ghee and I have my warm water here to knead the dough. Let me show you how I'm putting this together. So in the flour, I'm adding my baking powder. Next, I'm gonna go in with my ghee. About 2 tablespoons will do it for me. This is a smaller spoon, so I'm just adding some extra. Then I'm gonna go in and mix everything together. Roti is something that I learned to make since I was a little girl because it was on our menu every day. We either had them for breakfast or dinner. And we had special roti for different meals. The things that we cook with lots of gravy or juice like curry and dal. I remember we mostly eat sada roti with those, and for our fried vegetables, we would eat them with paratha roti. So my roti is nicely kneaded. Check that out. Beautiful and soft. So because I'm making oil roti, we have another step to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's time to roll off those roti and leave them to rest, or like we would say, leave them to soak. Then I'm gonna go in with my ghee. You can do this with oil or butter. I like the texture and the softness that the ghee usually brings out, and that's why I am using ghee. What I do here now, there's 2 ways that I fold it. The more you fold your roti, the flakier they will be. So I like to do this way, and then I'll go this way. One of my mom's sister always do hers like this, and that's where I got mine from. And look how beautiful it looks, like a pinwheel. I always say that because I really like when I fold it like this. And then I'm gonna show you one more how I fold in a different way. And this is another way I'm gonna fold it. I always do it whenever I'm making roti. So if somebody is new to my channel and this is the first time you're viewing, I'm sharing how I wrap my roti when I'm making oil roti or clap roti, or like my Trinidadian friends will say, bust up shot. So I like to pick this up with my hand, and then I like to take this with my other hand and then roll it over like that. Roll it over, then tuck in the bottom ends like that, and then push in the cone at the top. And this is another way that I wrap mine, and then put a little bit of flour on the bottom so it doesn't stick, and that one is done. I'm gonna keep on rolling the rest, and then I'll show you when I finish how they look. And just like that, I finished rolling off the roti. I'm gonna cover them and come back to them when it's time to cook. So this is my Guyana trench shrimps or sweetwater shrimp. As you can see, for all my Wakanam friend Riza, you might remember this shrimp. And for all my viewers who grew up in the countryside, you will definitely remember the sweetwater shrimp. This shrimp is also known as the jumper shrimp. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper. When I was growing up, we used to catch our own, and we would just add salt to it, fry it up, and add it to any vegetable or greens, and it was so delicious. If you remember the shrimp, please leave in the comment and let me know. And I'm cooking these with the shell. They have a very nice flavor when you cook them with the shell. Of course, you can remove the shell, but I just want to have that back home taste in mind. I'm going to leave it here now, and then I'll go wash my mustard baji. I have my nice fresh mustard baji here, and I love mustard baji. If you mix it with another baji like bok choy or some poi baji or chow rai baji, something like that, it goes very well too. Mustard baji is very rich and full with nutrients. So this is something I like to consume. I'm gonna go ahead and wash it thoroughly, chop it up, and then I'll show you how to prepare this. I like to cook it with coconut milk because it adds another level of flavor to this dish. The mustard baji is very similar to the bok choy or pak choy baji, except for the stem is a little bit longer and light green in color. I'm gonna go in now and add my shrimp into the pot. I'm gonna fry the shrimp up first before we start cooking our baji. And over here, look at the baji, finely chopped. Look at that. I have my onion, green onion, garlic, and pepper. It takes simple ingredients and it will taste delicious. I have here my freshly squeezed coconut milk that I'm going to be adding, and then I'm going to cook up my roti. I didn't have these sweetwater shrimp in ages, and I love these shrimp so much. Look at them. When you fry them up, they turn nice and pink, and in the shell holds a lot of flavor when you add it to your dish. So my shrimp is done now. I'm going to remove it. And I have that same exact smell like when my mom used to fry it in coconut oil, because I use coconut oil to cook with. And I want to shout out my sister. Big shout out to my sister Sarika. She bought this shrimp for me. I have like 2 more cooking of the shrimp, and my mom cleaned every one of them for me. I went out, and when I came back, she cleaned them, washed them, and prepared them nicely for me to bring back. So big shout out to my mom and big shout out to my sister for helping me to get the shrimp and clean it up. The onion is going in now, and we're gonna saute our onion for a few minutes. We're adding our garlic and pepper. We're gonna cook this up just for a minute or so. I don't like to burn the garlic. How it smells, Natalie?
It smells good.
From that little shrimp smell too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's add our mustard baji. We're gonna go in with our salt here, and I'm gonna give it a little mix. So those are all the ingredients. I have some green onions to add, and spinach doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. With that coconut milk that I'm gonna add in here will give us just the perfect flavor that we're looking for. While my baji is cooking, I have some green onions that I was sprouting inside. I always cut the heads off, and hubby did a cilantro. I have it right here, and this here is some green onions I already planted. Let me show you guys. I planted these ones about a week ago, and they're coming along nicely. I just gonna plant these other ones quickly, and then we'll go back inside and check on our baji. Every summer I do this process. I cut off the head of my green onions, leave it in water for about 2 to 3 days. Once it sprouts out, I take it to my backyard and replant them, and I never have to buy green onion the entire summer. I share this tip every year because I want to encourage all my viewers to plant your own green onions. It's a beautiful feeling, And you don't need a lot of room for the green onions. You can plant them in pots or little small areas. They can also be grown indoor in the winter, and you can have them all year long. Green onions can hold up to the cold weather, so they can be planted right after winter, and they go all the way up to September, even sometimes in November. For now, I just planted 2 pots of green onions, but I'm going to be planting way more than this because I'll use a lot of green onion. These are my 2 batches of green onions. One batch I might be able to pick from later this week or early next week. I will keep you guys posted on these, and I hope I inspire you to plant your own green onions. So our baji is looking good. I'm gonna go in now and add my coconut milk to this. You can see how much it reduced. I'm gonna add my green onions now, and we're gonna let our mustard baji cook until some of this coconut milk is completely reduced. Look how beautiful it's looking in there. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and cook up my roti. So now I'm gonna start with my roti. Nice and soft. They had a good chance to soak. While my coconut milk is cooking in the baji, we will cook up our roti. And the roti is so soft. Look at that. This ghee do wonders with all roti. You can make them as big or as small as you like once they fit on your tawa. So my tawa is on, and I'm gonna put the first one on here. And once it starts to bubble up a little, I'm gonna turn it over, oil it, and then we will continue the process. So we're gonna flip this one. We're gonna add our ghee. Make sure that you rub it end to end, and then flip the roti again. Smells really nice with the ghee. And then we're gonna flip again. This one is cooking up nicely. While the roti is still hot, we're gonna clap it. And look at that beauty right there. Nice and flaky and beautifully done. I'm gonna fold them up. I like to wrap them while I'm cooking so they stay nice and warm when it's time to serve up. And look at my roti. Nice and flaky. Look at beautiful all the roti is done. I'm just waiting now for my baji to finish, and then I'm gonna serve up. It feels hot in here when you just finish cooking roti. So I like to wrap mine up with a piece of parchment paper until it's time to serve, and it'll stay nice and warm in here. So now I'm gonna go back in and add all the shrimp in here. Look at that beautiful amount of shrimp. We're gonna mix this up nicely, and I'm gonna just allow it to cook about 2 more minutes just so the shrimp can flavor up the baji, and then we will turn it off. And this is it, my friend, my nice paratha roti. Check this out, my baji or mustard baji and Guyana shrimp. Look at this, shrimp in galore. I'm gonna sit down and eat and let you all know how this tastes. So here is that beautiful spinach and roti and shrimp. Let me go in. These roti are done perfectly well, and look at that. Nice paratha roti, some shrimp in there, and this mouthful goes to All the viewers, I'm drooling already. Cheers. This baji, cooking coconut milk with the flavor of that shrimp. Oh my goodness. Just like when we were back home. And the baji have a nice spiciness to it. Wow, ooh la la. Every single mouthful, there's a shrimp in there with the shell, and I just love it that way. And this is, the shell is not overpowering. If you don't like it with the shells, you can totally remove them. They're so easy. Like this one, I'm gonna show you. You just remove them like that, and it's so easy to remove. But there's something about the shell, it locks in all the flavor, and it reminds me so much of back home. We used to make seine and catch these shrimp every single day because I live beside the river, the Essequibo River. So good. I wish if you guys can taste this. To all my friends who grew up in the countryside, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And for all those who love their paratha roti, I have you covered. Sister Shanna, tomorrow I'm gonna have some for lunch with some rice, so everybody's covered. I wanna say good night, stay blessed, stay safe, love you all. Catch you in my next video.